This video will cover character calibration and setup in Blade. First, we're going to marker up our actor. This consists of making a series of rigid planes connected by joints. Rigid planes are usually 4 markers around major points of the body, such as the 4 around the head, the shoulder, and the hips. Markers go in between, in places like the sternum and the clavicle, on the sides of the hips, forearms and upper arms, and then we use 2 markers at each joint, so the knees and the elbows. There's also 4 markers around the hands to get wrist and basic knuckle movement. The feet are pretty unique in that they use 3 markers around the toes, 1 on the ankle, and 1 on the heel. This is how your markering should look. This will allow us to use Blade's default calibration tools to set up our actor's skeleton. Next, in Blade, we'll need to capture a range of motion for our actor. So in the capture window, name the take after your actor underscore ROM001. The range of motion is just what it sounds like. It should be a take where we're just getting the range of motion for all of the actor's joints. This is just a small sample of what a range of motion could be. For every project that you're doing, think about what the actor is going to actually be performing and make sure that that is included in the range of motion. If they're dancers doing high kicks, maybe think about getting some of those in. If they're falling down to the ground, maybe have your actor go into a push-up position. Next, we're going to open up a second instance of Blade. In case it crashes, we don't want to lose our calibration. In the data management editor, we're going to open our take by double-clicking the blue X. We're going to open up the labeling and solving editors. And in the labeling, we're going to go to the setup tab, and we're going to reconstruct our take. This will reconstruct the 2D data into 3D points. Next, we just go down the auto setup list. We're going to create a labeling setup, label the range of motion, and calibrate it. Here you can see me running into some trouble. This is because I have the cameras selected instead of the marker set, so I'm just going to Alt, click, and drag and select all of my markers. Once the calibration is finished, you can see that the markers are correctly labeled, yellow on the left, green on the right, and that the labeling skeleton should follow the cage. Next, we're going to go to the solving editor. There are 2 setups we can use. We can copy from the labeling setup, or we can use production. For now, we're going to stick with copying from the labeling setup. This will create a solving skeleton, and then we'll just come down to the Solve tab and solve for all frames. And this will attach our solving skeleton. We need both of these. Now that we have our labeling and solving skeleton, we'll go to the character management editor, select our character's name, and export using the floppy disk button. We're going to export a VSK file, overwrite the one that's already there, and also a VSS file. The VSK is the labeling skeleton, and the VSS is the solving skeleton. Now we return to our live Blade, go to its character management editor, and import those 2 skeleton files. Once imported, we'll change our drop-down here to reconstruct, label, and solve, and we should be able to see our character in real time. Once this is set up, you're ready to start shooting your takes using the capture editor. And after that, we'll move on to post. But that's in another video.